So I just wanted to put this out there. This being Labor Day, I'm sitting out at a beautiful park. It's overcast. It's kind of cool, but beautiful day out here. And enjoying the day off, as a lot of you are. But thinking about Labor Day and all the people that work hard every day, go to work and provide for themselves and feed their families. And, you know, my background in construction for 45 years, I've seen a lot of labor in my time. I performed a lot of labor. So it's kind of nice to be able to sit and reflect and enjoy the day. One thing I've been seeing a lot of in a lot of these videos I've been watching regarding a lot of the younger men, and not necessarily younger men, but I think the younger men are kind of caught up in this where they're not really sure what direction that they should be going. They start getting kind of get down on themselves, kind of thinking there's not a lot of hope. There's a lot of men out there that start getting down on themselves, start thinking that there's not much to life, not much hope. There's a lot of young men out there that are kind of down on themselves and kind of looking at life in general and like there's not a lot of hope and for the future, and they're kind of fighting it. And it's not just young men, but it affects all the men. And like I said, I've been in the trades for all these years, and I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of guys that you would think were strong and have it all together. And there was one gentleman, and there was one individual in particular several years back on a job telling me all about how he had it all figured out. He had a couple, 2 or 3 rentals, and he and his girlfriend were moving into a new place, and he was just really going on for a few minutes of just how things were great. We were talking up on the rooftop. He was calling the crane and moving material around and everything, and I was real happy for him. I thought, man, this guy's got it figured out. He's got it all together. And sitting in a morning meeting about a week later, and one of his best friends was mentioned how he had uh, taken his own life. And that really, really caught me off guard until and that really caught me off guard when I thought back at how great he was making everything sound, and I thought he just had it all figured out, and I kind of almost felt a little less. And and that was really something when I heard that news, because he he made it sound like everything was great, everything was fine in his life, and evidently something wasn't, that he wasn't letting on about. And then I hear later on just the statistics of construction workers, and it's extremely high. It's one of the highest. And I think of others that I've known over the years that have done the same thing. So it wasn't just specific to this one person, but that just was the most recent. And it's a shame that that has to be in any situation, let alone construction. But sometimes I think young men have a certain front that they have to put up, that they've got it all figured out, that everything's good. Don't worry about me, worry about the other guy. He's the one that needs help. I'm good. You know, that type of thing. And it's not always the case. I've been in a lead position for quite a few years, and I've had several men approach me and, hey, can I talk to you for a minute? And I seem to have helped, and in one form or another. Sometimes they just have to get things off their chest. I had one foreman in particular that was really cantankerous all the time, and we went toe to toe often. I would have a direction of what I wanted him and his team to do, being that I was in charge of the site, and he was fighting me all the time. And finally one day it kind of got to where I had to raise my voice a little bit to him, and he finally just broke down and told me all the he finally broke down and told me all the problems he was having with his home life, with his marriage, everything else. He had all this tremendous weight on him on top of being a foreman and running his on top of being the foreman and running his job and running his crew. He had all the weight of everything else on his shoulders, and he just broke one day and just opened up. And like I said, you get that very seldom. Most of the time you'll see these guys that are a little argumentative and a little forceful, a little tough to deal with, and it's not, and you dig deeper and it's not the job. It's other things that are on their minds and other things that are wearing on them. And so I would just say, in a day like this, on Labor Day, or this being Labor Day, looking into the future, probably won't see this for another couple days. But just think about that. Think about all the people that are out there working every day, and they have enough on them when it comes to their work and their responsibilities at work, but they're also carrying a lot on their shoulders in other areas of their lives. So maybe try to be considerate a little bit more, and consider if someone is a little harsh, a little difficult to deal with, maybe step aside and say, hey, everything all right? Everything going okay with you? And if they still push back, leave it at that. Don't push, but at least you showed that you have a little bit of concern for that person, and they might stop by later on and say, actually, no, and maybe want to talk about it. And you could probably help, and maybe help prevent a tragedy. You might just be the one that says that one thing of encouragement, something nice, at least give someone to listen to. That would help offset that. So things aren't always as they seem, and especially for men, they try to put up a tough front and like everything's good. But I've been around long enough to and have paid attention. You can put up a good front, but I've seen it. And so talk to people. Get out of your comfort zone a little bit, and just all you have to do is get on the phone or text someone and say, hey, you got a minute? And I'll tell you, if you're sitting on the couch and you're doom scrolling, or you're just playing a video game, or something like that. One of my biggest suggestions would be go out and sit at a park like I'm doing right now. It's great. It calms you down. It's relaxing. I've got a lunch right here. I packed a lunch. I'm sitting right here in case I get hungry. I got something to drink. If you're feeling a little bit bummed, one of my suggestions is go do something a little bit different. I don't have all the answers in this one video, but what I would suggest is start doing something. Do something a little bit different. Go to the park, pack yourself something to eat, go down, find a creek somewhere, go to the bowling alley, go sit and watch them bowl. Go do something different, something out of the ordinary of what your daily routine is. Get out. If it's still early enough, go get a haircut. Jump in the shower, go get a haircut. That always makes you feel better. And when you're on the way to get a haircut, text one of your buddies and say, hey, I'm going to get a haircut. He might want to go get one too. Say, I'll meet you there. Or say, hey, let's stop for a cup of coffee. Let's meet up somewhere and just go get a cup of coffee and just sit and talk and enjoy each other's company. But just get out, do something different. Don't sit and text people or just scroll through the YouTube shorts or whatever you want to do or play your video game. You've done enough of that. Get outside, go do something else. Go walk down at a creek. I just was at another creek the other day, saw a turtle sunning himself out there. Get out and do something different. And by going to places like go to a park or something, you don't know who you'll run into. You might talk to someone interesting. I was at the park the other day and I sat and talked for about an hour and a half with an 85-year-old gentleman that lived in town for years and got to know a little more history of the town and got his perspective on some things. We had a real good time. Gave him my phone number. We're going to have coffee here pretty soon. We're going to do it again. 85 years old. I'm not 85. I want to know what it's like being 85, and I want to know some more information, what he's got to offer. Maybe I'll learn something. But just get outside. Go do something. Don't go to a bar. Don't go to anywhere depressing. Get outside. Take a hike. Take a walk. Go find a creek. Go do something you did when you were a kid. Find a buddy and say, hey, man, meet me at a park. What do you mean we're going to the park? Just meet me at the park, and I'm going to bring a Frisbee, or I'm going to bring a football or a soccer ball or something. You'll say, well, I haven't done that since we were kids. Well, let's do it now. We're 25, 26 years old. We're 30. Go dig out the lawn darts. Do something. So anyway, enjoy the day. And I'll try to bring some more videos like this every once in a while, be a little encouraging, let you know I've been through it myself. I've been up, I've been down. Some days are good, some days are better. But we'll get through it. And we'll have fun doing it. So stay with me. Thanks for watching. See ya.